So here we continue our discussion. Actually, in the morning session we have discussed about some molecules like water. Then we stopped, I think, at boron trifluoride. Okay, now let us see all the symmetry elements of water. Here you can see that I have marked here two planes, sigma v prime, which is the plane containing all the three atoms of water. So it is the molecular plane. On the other hand, the other plane is containing only one other plane passing through only one oxygen. So we can say that front side one hydrogen and back side another hydrogen. They both are the mirror images. So this plane, actually these two are the vertical planes because these two are vertical planes because both of them contain the this C2 axis. Okay, C2 axis is actually parallel to it. It is not perpendicular. That's why we can call this as a vertical planes. Okay, so a total of 4 symmetry elements are possessed by the water molecule, that is E, C2 and sigma V passing through only oxygen and sigma V prime passing through all the molecule. Then also these two sigmas are actually vertical. We have earlier seen the example of BF3, which is an example of the planar AB3 system. So here A is boron and B is the ligand. So we have already noted that it is having a C3 axis passing through the boron atom and perpendicular to the plane of the molecule. The orange or yellowish orange color is representing the plane passing through all the 4 atoms, the boron as well as 3 fluorine atoms. So this C3 is perpendicular to that plane. So there are also another axis of rotation such as C2. You can see that along the BF bond we have a C2 axis marked here. If you rotate about this C2, the fluorines on the other two fluorines will interchange their position. Similarly, along each BF bond we have a C2. So like that, a total of 3 C2 axes are present in this molecule and one C3 axis is present in this molecule. So when we compare the C3 with C2, we can say that C3 is higher order axis. That's why it is the principal axis. Also, the principal axis and this yellow plane are perpendicular. So this molecular plane, which is which is a sigma, here we classify it into a sigma H or the sigma horizontal plane based on its relationship with the C3 axis, because if a plane is perpendicular to the principal axis, it is called as sigma H. At the same time, we have seen that where the C2 axis is going, that is actually part of another vertical plane. So there are 3 C2s and along all the C2s, 3 vertical planes are there. In addition to that, a horizontal plane is there. A C3 axis is there. Okay. Now let us perform the symmetry operations generated by the C3 axis. In a C3 axis, we actually rotate the 120 degree. So from where we got this is 360 by n will give you how much we have to rotate. So 360 by 3 is equal to 120, that much we are rotating, or we can say that 360 by 120 is giving you 3. That is the order of the axis. So when we do a C3 operation or simply a C3 1 operation, that is C3 operation done once. C3 1 operation means C3 done 1 times. That is a 120 degree rotation. It is giving you a configuration 2, in which you can see that the fluorine has just moved to right side and reached this position. Okay, so this unless we color it, we won't be able to recognize their difference. So this is actually some kind of a labeling. We can say that it is some kind of labeling. So the 1 and 2 are equivalent configurations. Okay, after this, once again if you do another 120 degree rotation, fluorine moves to the left side So now we have completed 240 degree rotation in order to get to the configuration 3. After that, once again, if you repeat the C31, now we are completing the C33. C33 means 3 times 120 degree means totally we have covered a 360 degree rotation. So whenever we cover a 360 degree rotation, we know that we will result in the identical configuration. Okay, so here you can see that the configuration generated by 4 will be exactly similar to that in 1. So I have not repeated it here. That is why I have written 4 is equivalent to 1. So 1 and 4 are called identical configurations, whereas this relationship between 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 2 and 3, all these are called equivalent configurations. Okay. So C3 axis can generate a total of 3 operations: C31, C32 and C33, among which C33 is actually equivalent to E. So C31 and C32 are considered as the operations which are particular to this axis. Okay, because C33 is already equal to something else, that is E. So that's why we don't consider it as a characteristic to this axis. We will just use C31 and C32 as the characteristic operations. So here already we have I have told you that C33 is equivalent to E. Here this is a representation from textbook, a common representation for the AB3 system. If we view from the top, we assume that A is at the middle where there is a red dot, and B are present at the corner of the triangle where 1, 2 and 3 are written. So if you rotate C3 120 degree or 2 pi by 3, or it is also called a C3 1 operation, the 1 will go to the position of 2, 2 will go to the position of 3, like that. So this is an equivalent configuration. Similarly, from 1, if you do the 240 degree rotation or C32 rotation, again this 1 will shift to 2 positions. It will first come to the 2, then it will reach finally at the 1 near the 3. 3 also will move 2 positions. So you can see that configuration 1 and 3 are equivalent. So from the 1, if you do a C33 operation or a 360 degree rotation, that is what written here also. So you will end up in the equivalent, not only equivalent but identical configuration. So 1 is identical to 4 or 4 is identical to 1 in all respects. Okay, it is preserving the labels also. That is why we call it an identical configuration. So there are only 2 identical configurations, 1 and 4, whereas 2, 3, relationship between 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, all this, if you relate, you can tell them as equivalent configurations. Okay, so I hope you understood equivalent configurations and identical configurations, whose definitions I have told you in the earlier session. Okay, so this is actually a kind of repetition. We were seeing the BF3 molecule. I have taken some similar molecule from the web, and here I have shown the C3 axis, which is perpendicular to the molecular plane. Actually, molecular plane is in the middle picture, that is a sigma H plane is written. The C3 is perpendicular to that, and you can also see a vertical plane passing through boron and one of the ligand atoms. You can see that the C3 is lying in this plane. That is why it is called a sigma V plane. But on the other hand, sigma H plane, C3 is perpendicular to it. Okay, so in addition to these planes, there are additional C2s which we discussed just before some time, and there are also S operations. What are the S operations? We will come to that later. So another example of the AB3 type molecule or the BF3 type molecule is the trigonal bipyramidal molecule. Okay, so trigonal bipyramidal molecule, an example is PF5. Here you can see that 3 of the ligands are present in one plane, whereas the other 2 ligands are present axially. So there are 3 equatorial ligands and 2 axial ligands. So we can say that F4 and F5 are axial ligands, F1, 2, 3 are equatorial ligands. So these 3 equatorial ligands lie in a plane. Okay, this and this F4P F5 is the axis. So this axis is basically the C3 axis. You can see in the other picture. So F4P F5 is actually the C3 axis, or we can say that C3 axis passes through the F4P and F5 atoms. So about this, if you rotate the F1, F2, F3, all these three fluorine will only interchange. F4 and F5 are remaining at their own position. Because they are on the axis, they will not change. The three atoms only will interchange. So it is having a C3, and this plane containing F1, F3, F2 and phosphorus is perpendicular to that C3 axis. That's why it is a sigma H. We also have the C2s. Here it is marked in the above picture. It is marked. The C2s are at the corners of the triangle. Okay, so C2s are passing through the phosphorus and any of the fluorine atom, PF1 or PF2 and PF3. There are three C2s, and along this C2s we can also keep vertical planes. So we can see that ultimately it is having the same set of symmetry elements and operations that is possessed by the BF3 molecule. Okay, so they both belong to the same kind of point group. It is very easily understandable. They both belong to the same kind of point group.